Welcome to our channel, Black Love Murdered. Today, we invite you to delve into a chilling tale of mystery and tragedy that has captivated investigators and left the community in shock. In this episode, we explore a case where love and betrayal collide, leading to a horrifying crime that remained unsolved for years. Join us as we unravel the secrets hidden beneath the surface and uncover the shocking truth behind this haunting story. In the quiet town of Alma, Georgia, where everyone knows everyone, a senseless tragedy unfolded that left the community in shock. This is the heartbreaking true story of Jasmin Moore, a vibrant 15-year-old girl whose life was brutally cut short. Jasmin Moore was a bright young soul, eagerly looking forward to her sophomore year at Bacon County High School. Like any teenager, she was excited to go back to school after the summer break. Jasmin had a magnetic personality, loved making friends, and was an active member of the school band. She excelled academically, was involved in numerous school clubs, and had dreams of her own. Her dream was to join the military, inspired by her big brother's service. She was determined. Even though she was small in stature, she had a heart full of courage. But there was more to Jasmin's life than school and dreams. She had fallen head over heels for Dion Smith, a charming 17-year-old classmate during the summer break. Their summer romance was filled with laughter, long conversations, and the thrill of young love. But on one fateful Sunday morning, just before school was set to begin, Pamela, Jasmin's mother, arrived home from work to a horrifying discovery. Her daughter, unresponsive and covered in blood and charred, lay lifeless. First responders arrived at the scene, shocked by the level of violence rarely seen in their peaceful community. Crime scene was a nightmare. Jasmin's body severely burnt, blood on the walls, signs of a struggle. As investigators delved deeper, their attention focused on Ron Stanley, Jasmin's next-door neighbor. Ron raised suspicion due to his appearance, sporting a black eye and visible scratches. The condition of the crime scene, marked by an extensive struggle, intensified their interest in him. However, further investigation revealed that Ron's injuries were unrelated to Jasmin's murder. He had been involved in a bar fight, and his alibi for the night was corroborated by witnesses at the club. Despite initial suspicions, Ron Stanley was no longer considered a suspect in Jasmin's murder. The evidence pointed towards someone Jasmin knew and let into her home. Jasmin's mother revealed the tensions between her daughter and her boyfriend, Henry Wilton. Investigators initially viewed Henry as a person of interest due to his frequent presence in their home. They questioned him about his whereabouts on the night of the murder. Henry admitted to having been alone with Jasmin, but he vehemently denied any involvement in her death. Upon scrutiny, Henry's alibi held up. His phone records confirmed he was elsewhere when the crime occurred. Despite the tension between Jasmin and Henry, no evidence linked him to the murder, and he was ruled out as a suspect. Then, they turned their attention to Dion Smith. When investigators requested an interview with Dion Smith, Jasmin's summertime love, he walked into the police station voluntarily, and his demeanor was surprisingly calm despite the gravity of the situation. During the interview, Detective McElroy sat across from a calm, collected, and composed Dion. He maintained his innocence, asserting that he wasn't present during Jasmin's murder. He provided a solid alibi that he was hanging out with his friend, Ty Murchison, throughout that fateful night. Dion's alibi seemed airtight, as his phone records corroborated his account. Dion had seemingly moved on from the shadows of suspicion, and the case languished for several long, frustrating years. The community began to lose hope as the investigation remained at a standstill. But then, After nearly 5 years of lingering questions, the unexpected happened. For years, Ty Murchison had carried an agonizing secret, a weight that had gnawed at his conscience day and night. On that fateful night, he couldn't bear the guilt any longer. It was an inner turmoil that had haunted him, tormenting his sleep and gnashing at his soul. One evening, after a long internal struggle, Ty decided he couldn't continue living with the knowledge of what he and Dion had done to Jasmin Moore. He felt that it was time to unburden his conscience, no matter the cost. Driven by remorse, he made a solemn commitment to seek redemption and set things right. With a heavy heart and trembling hands, Ty walked into the sheriff's department and asked to speak with law enforcement. His voice quivered as he began to recount the horrifying events of that tragic night. Tears welled up in his eyes as he relived the guilt, shame, and fear that had consumed him for years. Ty disclosed that it was Dion who had masterminded the sinister plan to eliminate Jasmin. Shockingly, Dion had concocted this scheme because he believed Jasmin was pregnant. This revelation had sent shockwaves through their tumultuous relationship, and Dion was adamant about erasing all traces of this impending fatherhood. In the chilling account of that night, Ty described how Dion, with a cold and calculated demeanor, lured Jasmin into a confrontation. They argued vehemently about the pregnancy, and Dion's fury escalated into a brutal attack. It was a horrifying act of violence that would leave a lasting scar on Ty's conscience. As Ty's confession unfolded, he revealed the gruesome details of how Dion had assaulted Jasmin, robbing her of her life and the life she never carried within her. He disclosed the horrific truth. Dion had mercilessly ended Jasmin's existence because he believed she was pregnant and couldn't face the responsibilities of fatherhood. Dion Smith went on trial for murder and was convicted, receiving a life sentence. Ty Murchison, haunted by guilt, sought redemption by confessing and helping bring justice to Jasmin's family. In the wake of Ty's shocking confession, the wheels of justice began to turn. Dion Smith was taken into custody and brought to trial. Courtroom became a battleground where the chilling details of that fateful night were laid bare. During the trial, Dion maintained his innocence, insisting that he had no involvement in Jasmin's murder. Ty Murchison, who had confessed to his role in the murder, became the prosecution's star witness. Ty recounted the harrowing events of that night in chilling detail, providing a first-hand account of how Dion had orchestrated the brutal attack on Jasmin. His testimony was a pivotal turning point in the trial. Ty Murchison, who had confessed to his involvement in the crime, struck a plea deal with the prosecution. He pleaded guilty to charges of aggravated assault and arson. In return, he received a sentence of 30 years in prison, a significantly lesser penalty compared to Dion's life sentence. This plea deal was seen as a testament to Ty's willingness to come forward and seek redemption for his role in the horrific crime. Justice had been served, but the scars of that tragic night would forever remain etched in their hearts. The case of Jasmin Moore is a tragic reminder of how a small town's tranquility can shatter in an instant. Yet, it's also a testament to the resilience of a community seeking answers and the power of truth prevailing over darkness. To the family of Jasmin Moore, we extend our deepest condolences. The loss of your beloved Jasmin has left a void in the hearts of many. Her vibrant spirit, dreams, and aspirations were taken far too soon. As we work to uncover the truth behind these tragedies, Jasmin's memory will forever be a driving force in our mission to seek justice and ensure her story is told. May you find strength in each other, and may Jasmin's spirit shine on in your hearts and in the hearts of all those who are touched by her story.
If you or someone you know is facing domestic violence, you're not alone. Help is just a call away. Reach out to the Domestic Violence Hotline. Your safety matters, and there are caring professionals ready to assist you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't hesitate to make the call.